to the tenants in the community's mind, they say, well, why will I call the police? Because when I call the police, they're probably going to think I'm a suspect. They're going to flip it and make me the suspect to a crime that I was a victim of. So, and for years there's been a lot of debate over corrupt cops and, you know, corrupt system, Rodney King case that put a lot of guys out there, and a lot of other cases put a lot of guys out there, but at the same time, you don't really see the justice in it within the Rodney King case. You know, there was another case here of the guy Gemini Jones. He was accused of raping a woman and beating her down, and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what I believe about that situation, but it's like, how can this guy, he was accused of that and he was let off, and then about a month after that he got hit with another charge. So it's like, wow, you just threw this woman's account of her being raped and beaten by this police officer, which in my mind, I mean, I can conceive that notion, and you just threw it out the window. So now so if you go to court and the police brutalize you, who the court gonna, they're gonna believe the police. They gotta pay the police, they gotta pay the system, and there's a whole, it's politics, there's a whole political system within that they gotta abide by, that they have to follow to make you believe that the police are right. And once again, furthermore, that's the disconnect that's going on within the communities, that's going on within the minds of the young people and the older people alike. So when you try to turn it around on a young dude saying stop snitching is promoting violence and it's promoting not cooperating with the police, you got to understand that it's a whole circle within that mindset, whereas I don't want to cooperate with the police because we're at ends, we're opposites now. And just where this situation where there's corrupt cops, and I mean this has been depicted for years within actual life, within movies, TV shows, a recent movie, The Departed, which has won endless awards, and that movie was all about the injustice that goes on within the police. Not just the local police, it goes from local, state to the federal level of the whole system. So you can see where the disconnect even stems from. It stems from the bottom and it just works its way up. And that's a great movie that depicts that in a very, very open range. And even in songs like 911 is a joke in your town, it's the truth. That song was made in the late 80s, early 90s, but that song was true. And it's true in our culture where you call 911 up, you say such and such happened, I'm a victim of a crime. And they might show up 2-3 hours later depending on your neighborhood. You know, so what makes me less of a citizen because of my color, because of where I live, you know, that because of the money I make, the class, my middle class, upper class, lower class, you know, everything in America is all based on class. And they treat you accordingly, unfortunately. And within the police system, it was another local case where a boy, 7 years old, was sitting on a dirt bike in front of his house. The little boy was arrested, 7 years old, for sitting on a dirt bike. And later they arrested his mother. And then they tried, because, and this is check out the mindset of the police. They know that they are so brutal, that they are so trigger happy, that they're so quick on the draw that they make some officers or some units get tasers instead of having their usual weapon of choice, their gun, because they know that they're killing way too many people with their guns for no real reason. It was a mentally ill guy just a couple months ago. They shot him, and it's been numerous amounts of cases where the police shoot people and they kill people, and when you look at it, you can be like, wow, they had so many different ways not to kill this person. So why did they choose this route? You know? And so now they get the tasers. Boom! They taser some lady, kill her. She dead now. They didn't taser her. So now they getting taser happy. So, I mean, I understand the police got to protect themselves as well, you know. But at the same time, at what force does it become excessive force? Where, I mean, you taser somebody and they have a heart attack. I mean, that's wild. You shoot a car, you shoot a dude 50 times, some unarmed guys in the vehicle. I mean, what's the basis on that, man? What's the basis on any of this? So when they say stop snitching, you gotta understand that there's levels of this. It's years and years of police brutality, of untrustworthiness, and that's just within our communities and our neighborhoods and what we've seen. And they try to pin it up, Baltimore believe, and that's been a campaign for a couple years now, man. I'm trying to believe, but I just don't see it. So, but something has to happen, and something definitely has to change where the neighborhood and the communities and the police and the system can get together and feel at one with each other, and we're not constantly clashing, because on a constant clashing, all we doing, the neighborhood's dying, and the police are suffering as well, because they're in court every month, every other month. They're in the news negatively every month, every week. We done ran through many police commissioners within the last 2 years. We done went through about 4 different police commissioners. I mean, so something definitely has to change, and that change begins with just the neighborhoods and the communities sitting down and actually pinpointing out a plan and following through with that plan, not just having open discussions and we had a discussion about it and that'd be the end of that. You gotta follow through on these subjects that you touch bases with, because at the end of the day, it's real people out here, and you just letting those people down. My hat's off to you, America. Good morning, USA.